what you do in the bed. I won't say he did that, but Galen Unall from Life South joins us. Brought to you by Penn Flooring, just shipped, and the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. Sure looked like Louis Oosthuizen sort of choked that one away yesterday, Galen.
Oh, he didn't have a great final round, whereas everybody else seemed to be at least making par or better, and he couldn't do that. But I don't think Morikawa is a man who could have been beaten today. It would have taken Louis' best to beat Morikawa today, because Morikawa was just his game was as tight as it can get. So fairways, green, two putt, move on, and maybe occasional birdie, and that's what it takes to win the British Open.
Let me turn my mic up. Morikawa won the British Open. And he won it in fact, like you said, fashion going away, where it really wasn't. After about the seventh hole, you knew that he was coming.
Yeah.
You knew he was coming, and it was just could he hold off? Because Spieth played pretty well too, but then Jordan had a meltdown there towards the end, like he did on Saturday as well.
Oh.
Saturday he bogeyed 17 and 18 to kind of set the tone for how he was going to maybe choke it away this time. But Morikawa, like you said, all he did, he hit fairways, he hit greens, and he was the number one putter at the thing. He was number one in putting strokes gained from putting over the 4 days. So really just an arrival on the scene, second major, 24 years old, just an announcement that I'm up there just as good as anybody else that you can think of, the DeChambeaus, the Koepkas, the Spieths, the McIlroys. I'm just as good as them, if not better. Dustin Johnson, here I'm coming for your number one ranking.
I don't know if he's at the Koepka, Dustin Johnson level yet, because those both have three. But he is definitely at the Spieth level. He's definitely at the McIlroy level. He is definitely a top five player. There's no doubt about it. And the guy, I love his game. It's he drives the ball pretty well, and his iron game is as good as anybody's in the game. So I think he's got a long career because he seems like a guy who wants to be great and is willing to grind. And as we talk about all the time, that's really what it takes on the PGA. You have to want to grind. So, yeah, let's see if he continues to embrace that.
So I'm sure you watched the British Open, and then you turned the TV off and didn't watch golf anymore yesterday, right?
No. Well, actually, I watched the Formula One race was on at the same time they teed off, and the Formula One race was arguably one of the greatest races of the last 20 years of any of the races that you could think of. I mean, what a race that was. That was just simply phenomenal. And then, so I watched more of like after 11 is when I picked up the British Open.
But then once the British Open was over, that was your day of golf, right?
Yeah. What else am I going to watch?
Well, then you missed quite possibly the most riveting golf that you could watch, because it was pretty much a foregone conclusion with about 3 holes to go that Morikawa was going to win the British Open. The drama had been played out. It was just now, him walking up, getting the accolades, and winning the tournament.
Well, as long as he hits the fairway, right? I mean,
right. As long as he hits the fairway,
British Open, you have to hit the fairway.
And he's been hitting. He was hitting fairways. He was hitting fairways all day. So last night, yesterday afternoon, about 6 o'clock, 10 till 6, I turn on the TV because I want to see where Ocala's Teddy Potter is in the Barbasol Championship, played in Kentucky. A nothing golf tournament. You only get 300 FedEx points. You don't even get the full 600 FedEx points. It's a place where the guys that are 125th to 225th on the money list can go play in a PGA sanctioned tournament and try to get some FedEx points and try to move up the ladder. So Ted Potter was in it. He started the day at 11 under. He was not able to mount any kind of charge. He finished the day at +2, so he was 9 under. But as I'm looking to see where he is on the leaderboard and everything, I'm watching as JT Poston, who is leading this tournament, hits the ball out of bounds. And when I mean out of bounds, they pulled a string from out of bounds marker to out of bounds marker, had to put a piece of paper down to see if he was in bounds or not. He was out of bounds by about 2 millimeters, literally out of bounds by about 2 millimeters. So he double bogeys that hole. Then he 3-putts 16 to give up a 4-stroke lead to have to make birdie to go into he had to make birdie to win or make par on 18 to go into a playoff. He gets into a playoff with Seamus Power, a Irishman who's never won on the PGA Tour, ranked 168th on the PGA Tour. They go 6 golf holes, mano a mano, until JT Poston blinks, hits his ball. It's literally in the water. It goes into the red hazard area and into the water where you could see the top half of the ball out of the water. But there was no way he could advance at the 150 yards he needed to get it on the green to have any chance to win. And Seamus Power, after playing almost at the 2/3 of a 9 in the playoff, wins against a guy who Jean Van de Velde did really at the Barbasol. Riveting golf.
Yeah, I disagree. And this goes for any sport. I like it when two people, if you're going to talk about it in that terms, are playing their best golf, not their worst golf.
And they were.
I don't like the train wreck. I don't like watching collapses. You know, if we go back to Norman at the Masters, I don't enjoy that. I like to watch guys when they're playing their best, and the guy they're going against is playing their best. That's enjoyable. When it's just like, wow, these guys can't get it together. That doesn't do anything.
Well, here's the thing. He was a train wreck coming down the last 4 holes at the Barbasol. Then he gets to the playoffs, and you would think that both of these guys were ranked number 1 on the FedEx. They birdied the first hole. Then they went par, 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 par. And then the winner birdies the last hole.
Well, the other guy put it in the water, and there was no pressure.
On the last hole, the guy put it in the water. Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't.
But for 5 holes, for 5 holes they matched each other, mano a mano, and it was good because this Seamus Power kid never won on the PGA Tour. And yesterday when they were interviewing him, and that's what I like about it when you interview a guy that doesn't quite comprehend everything that he's accomplished. When they were telling him, you know, you get this and you get that, you get this, you get full exemption for the next 2 years, you get to go to the Players Championship, the PGA Championship, Tournament of Champions, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden they go, and with this win, because when you win for your first time on the PGA Tour, you become a PGA member for life. That's part of it. And they go, and a PGA member for life. And then it dawned on him everything that he had just done by winning this one golf tournament. And to see the look on his face, to know that this guy, it all of a sudden came to realize, wow, my life just changed. It was pretty cool.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't have, again, you love golf far more than me. So.
Yeah, I do. I'm kind of a golf junkie that way. I'll give you that. Hey,
yeah, I would have been like, there's no chance in the world that I'm watching that tournament.
And you didn't. It wasn't there was no chance. There was no chance you didn't watch it. There was. I knew you didn't watch it. That was the thing. I knew there was no chance you watched it.
I didn't even know it was on.
If when I said Barbasol, you like, where are we going with cheap shaving cream? Where are we going with this?
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I'm sure the ratings were probably more up there with like reruns of Leave It to Beaver than any major.
Look, it wasn't even on. It was on Golf Channel. It wasn't even on one of the major 4 channels. It was just on Golf Channel.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
I watch the Golf Channel all the time.
Well, I watch it all the time. We're going to take a break. We come back more with Galen Unoff from Life South, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
It's Monday. Not sure how you did it, but you actually survived an entire 2 days without hearing from Tom. Good job to you. And once again, good luck.
Brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring, Just Shipped, and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. Galen, I don't know if you saw this story, but you know, usually we do dumb crook news on Fridays, but this one made me laugh so hard that I had to talk to you about it. A woman who's been on the run for an accessory to murder since March. She was arrested over the weekend, and the reason why is there's a in where she was, Tulsa, Oklahoma, where they were looking for her at. They post a couple of images every week, and one this weekend, her image, Lorraine Graves, was on Facebook as part of their weekly Most Wanted. They said it was looking for information about the whereabouts of this woman. She's charged with accessory to murder after the fact. She was involved in the city's 10th homicide, blah, 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 right? And noting after the post went up, authorities saw a familiar name in the comments. She wanted to know, where's the reward money at? I'll turn myself in if I can get the reward money.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
So they were able to track her through Facebook and arrest her without incident. I'm pretty sure there's no reward money for her, though, Galen. I'm pretty sure there's no reward
not for
money.
yourself. I'm pretty sure that there's an asterisk for that one. Yeah, that's probably, you should probably read all the rules that apply. Yeah.
I mean,
Gee,
just how dumb do you have to be?
Yeah. People are stupid. People are stupid.
I mean, and the reward money was $5,000. So she turned herself in.
Maybe she could have afforded a lawyer and only gone to jail for 20 years instead of 30.
Well,
I don't know.
She's up for 40. She faces 45 years in prison for the accessory charge.
Oh, there you go.
So, but when I saw that, I go, Galen will see how stupid this is. This is. I mean.
Well, it's just one of those things. You're like, wow, and I'm always amazed by people's thought processes, right? It's like you're sitting there, you're on Facebook, you're like, oh, wait a second, I can make money off of turning myself into the police? Let's get this done. If that is really your thought process, then why don't you hold out until the I don't know, the money goes up to like maybe $10,000 or $20,000, So I guess the 5,000 was her number.
And she'd been on the run since March.
5,000's like, this is it.
She'd been on the run since March, so it wasn't like that they, here was July. She'd been free for a while, dodging the police.
Yeah, good for her. Yeah, apparently 5,000, she'd do pretty much anything. I'll go to jail for 45 years for $5,000.
There you go.
Heck yeah.
And
get this done.
And then now you're not getting $5,000. Sorry about your luck.
Yeah, I mean, it's less than $1,000 a year. I think she'll probably make more than that in prison. They have those jobs and stuff.
License tag and everything.
Yeah, you just wonder. Yeah, well, you just wonder what it was she wanted to do with that $5,000. She had something in her mind that she needed that probably cost right around $5,000. Yeah, and that's why I'm just wondering what was going through her head. It's not like the second she turned herself in, there was no way for her to spend that.
No, none.
Right? They were not going to release her on bail. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh yeah, we're going to transfer this to your account. It'll be there within 24 hours. You're going to be in jail for the next 45 years. You're going to be denied bail because you were on the run. What are you going to do with the $5,000?
Well, police, she asked in the comment section about the reward. If it was there, she'd turn herself in. Police used that to track her computer to a local internet cafe, and then they saw her go in there and they arrested her. So she wasn't even. They didn't even contact her about the money or anything. So she just put in there, would I be available to get the reward if I turned myself in? And they were able to use that to track the IP address and then arrest her.
Facebook, another reason why you shouldn't use it, because once you commit a crime, they're going to use it against you. So, you should delete your Facebook account.
Well, and you don't do the Facebook, do you?
I do not.
Are you on any social media platforms at all?
Instagram, because I follow my boys just to see what they're posting, anything, but that's it. I do not do anything else. My life is so much better.
You do it strictly as a spying on your boys to make sure they're not doing anything nefarious, though. You're not doing it to have an Instagram account.
I don't. Yeah, I deleted Twitter. I haven't had Facebook in probably 10 years, and so I never look at social media now. And I find, first of all, my consumption of news is much more accurate. And there's about 10 to 15 different news sites that I go to, and that's how I find out information. I find that much more enjoyable to read than, people's dinner.
Galen, you're being disingenuous now. You know as well as I do that the news is accurate on Facebook. Everything about Facebook is truthful. The only place more truthful than Facebook, is Wikipedia. Be honest.
Well, Wikipedia is a lot more accurate.
It actually has improved so much. Wikipedia used to be terrible. And it used to be terrible, but now it's a lot better than it used to be.
Sure. So, yeah, I mean, again, it's whatever. And I think that Facebook causes more problems than it's ever solved. You know who really enjoys Facebook? Are the people who need to watch you and what you do in your life. Whether that's the police or the government, they're the ones who love it.
Well, now Joe Biden says his administration says they're going to start asking AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, and all that to access to our private text messages to make sure that we're not texting each other to don't take the virus don't take the virus serious.
Correct.
They want to see how we're talking about the virus and how we're talking about vaccinations. And then what are they going to do? Lock us up if we're not saying it the way they want us to say it?
Well, and there's an app called the WhatsApp app, and it's secure because it's outside of those big companies, and that'll just become more popular. I read that. I was like, man. And also, if you're trying to find the efficacy rate of the Pfizer vaccine, because the Pfizer vaccine, when people who are getting COVID after being vaccinated, from anecdotal information that I've got, it always seems to be they had both doses of the Pfizer. And so I was Googling, and I'm like, that's a search engine. That's probably the best way to start. It took me to page 3 on Google to find that the efficacy as of Friday was believed, and they refused to release their data, somewhere about 60%. Do you remember when there was talk that this was going to be 99%?
98, yeah.
because I was like, why is Pfizer asking for another booster? Because the other information they're not releasing is how long are these animals.
How long or what? We've lost Galen. Galen, are you there? We've lost Galen. Galen, call us back.
30, and that, you'll probably have to get
Galen, hold on. We heard
6 months.
Galen, you went away for about 30 seconds. We didn't hear anything you were saying for about 30 seconds.
Are you still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we didn't hear anything you said for about half a minute.
Yeah, it just depends on what you want to believe with that efficacy rate. So is it 60%? Is it only good for 3 months? If the federal government bought that, right, we could pay for all of these vaccines because of Operation Warp Speed. Why don't we have access? Why isn't that data public? That's all. I mean, every scientist and every researcher in the country should be able to access that data and then pull up some information, because I'm not an anti-vax. They refuse to release the long-term impact of the vaccine, right? They refuse to release any complications related to the vaccine. Why? That's all. Just make it completely open.
All I know is that the fully vaccinated Democrats from Texas that went to Washington, 5 or 6 of them have now tested positive for COVID.
Oh.
Now, did they really test positive for COVID, or they say they're tested positive for COVID so that they can't go back to the chamber and be required to be there to create a quorum?
By the way, that number's closer to 10 now, and it's growing.
Right, but is it growing because they actually have COVID, or is it growing because that keeps them out of the chamber and keeps a vote from happening in Texas?
I don't think that's something they would do, but you never know. You never know, right?
I mean, they've been holding up this vote by not giving a quorum, by going to Washington, D.C. on a private jet with no mask on and everything. They're the party of mask mandates and everything. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, the positivity rate for people who have had the vaccine for the Pfizer vaccine is going up.
Yeah.
So
we're going to take a break here in a second. When we come back, there's a free agent out there who did himself no help last week when he lost his mind, and he also did himself no help when he tried to break into a door that he couldn't break into, which brings to question how he's able to hit people. I don't know. We'll talk about that next. You're listening to Ocala Talk on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Hours before a shooting took place at the Washington Nationals
We'll have sunshine mixing with some clouds today, with a thunderstorm around this afternoon and a high of 88 to 92. Then partly cloudy skies tonight, low 72 to 74. Saturday and Sunday both will have a mix of clouds and sunshine, with a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoons. High on Saturday 86 to 90, high Sunday 88 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Nia Courtney was just 6 years old. A Tokyo court gave prison terms for the
Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
In fact, I'll bet it's the best news you've heard in a while. Here's the thing. We've just received a fresh batch.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community